Specialization in Global Business and Innovation. Welcome to the Digital Business Module, Section 2.1. The topics to learn in this section are Decision-making in digital business. As we learned in Module 1, most businesses are involved in a VUCA contest. Remember that the VUCA environment defines the characteristics of the current contest, characterized by volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. This contest makes decision-making very challenging, as there are not precedents that may guide the process. Decisions must be accurate and timely, and the results depend on many internal and external factors. When we think about the specifications in digital businesses, the risk is even higher, and the decision makers have bigger challenges, as every single decision that a leader may take impacts a larger number of population due to the higher reach and influence impact. Therefore, every decision could have a deep impact in the company profit, business growth, and relevance. Decision-making in digital business must be done following the VUCA Prime proposals that were covered in the previous module, as well as having in mind all the possible stakeholders that are involved in the company system. Remember that volatility must be responded with vision, uncertainty with understanding, complexity must be faced with clarity, and ambiguity with agility. Some examples of stakeholder in digital business are: first, employees. Decisions such as salary, hiring and letting go processes, and rewards are as important as the ones the company takes facing the potential customers. Second, suppliers. This includes payment terms, suppliers' range, relations with providers, and social responsibility. Third, current and potential customers. Decisions such as sales for promises, commercials, campaigns, and rewards to customers affect the brand equity, perception, and loyalty, not only as traditional marketing does, since the audience reach is exponential times more in digital business. Fourth, community. Social responsibility programs that should be sustainable and strategic give the company a personality and values that mark the difference on the brand among competitors. Having in mind the complexity of decision-making in digital business, we invite you to watch the next video made by Greenpeace in 2010. Back then, the most used social media platforms were Facebook and YouTube. When Greenpeace launched in social media this commercial, emulating the Kit Kat one, Nestlé's decision was to censor it in both platforms, Facebook and YouTube. The obvious reason why it was banned was the high similarity to the original Kit Kat advertisement, so copyright was on Nestlé's side. This caused that more and more people downloaded the video and shared it in their own profiles, so it became viral. Finally, Nestlé had to admit the mistake, let go the executive responsible for the censorship, and commit to buy palm oil from sources that do not involve the orangutan habitat. Nestlé learned several lessons about decision-making in digital business. Digital business involves all sectors and even the ones that are not aware of it. Every decision has a huge impact, not only in the product or brand, but also in the short and long-term profit. High amount of people is reached and gets to know information that is not intentionally aimed for them. In this case, the buying decision was done by the procurement department. It was not intended for the customers or general audience. There is lack of control of the content in social media. Honesty and transparency is prized by the market. Recognizing your mistakes helps keep the trust of the people. Also, Nestlé remembered one of the basic principles in marketing. According to Michael Porter, people buy and support brands that are aligned with their values. This diagram shows in 8 steps the decision-making process in digital business. As we understood, A digital business is the one that uses technology to operate. Activities can be productive, commercial, or both. The first step in decision making is to understand as clear and simple as possible what's the problem in its root cause. So, identifying the problem means to investigate in a deep level the situation to avoid misunderstandings in comprehension that would lead to poor outcomes. Before pointing to preliminary ideas of how to solve the problem or problems, it is necessary to determine the decision criteria. It means to understand the way ideas will be filtered. This decision criteria must be aligned with the company's strategy and the department's one. For instance, procurement, collections, marketing, or other. All the decisions criteria selected should be prioritized in the third step. Please have in mind that in the second step, the inner coherence with the company's strategy was warranted. In this step, the weight of each component is determined considering all the stakeholders' interests. The fourth step is the one for creativity, generating alternatives or solutions that point to the problem that was identified in the first step. Brainstorming, Scamper, thinking hats, affinity diagrams, mind maps, and other strategies can help the innovative process. The next step is to evaluate all the ideas generated in the previous stage. The evaluation criteria was determined and rated in steps 2 and 3. Step 6 is to choose the best alternative. When the previous steps were done rigorously, it is important to trust the result, even if it does not appear to be the obvious one. The implementation of the decision needs to be quick due to the VUCA contest and the speed at how digital businesses interact. This implementation differs according to the specific business unit. Finally, Step 8 aims to follow the results and measure the evolution of the problem. For example, it can be done through KPIs. In a business in the digital context, decision-making is not a one-time activity. After measuring, other problems can be identified, and the decision charter becomes a continuous operation. We will learn in this module another model that gives a broader perspective of decision-making in complex and rapid changing environments. We usually have heard about the need of organizations to adapt, to improve their fast ability to respond, to appropriate information and knowledge. But how much do we know about techniques to allow these processes? The digital era is somehow new. However, one of the best techniques to use has been developed in the mid-1970s by Professor Joel Barker. It is called the implication wheel. According to Dr. Fenstock, the wheel is a decision-enhancing tool that allows leadership and stakeholders to research the potential implications of a policy change, emerging trend, innovation, strategic goal or objective, or an event that has or might occur in a quick, inexpensive, and comprehensive way. The main idea behind is that in VUCA environments, the advantage over the competition is given by the long-term anticipation.
Universidad Santo Tomás, institución vigilada por el Ministerio de Educación Nacional.